Hello Internet, I am the hero of Julios once again with another One Piece chapter summary. This week's chapter is chapter 1057, The End. Which, I know, seems a little early, but hey, sometimes you just gotta be ready to say goodbye in a moment's notice. So, yeah, this chapter is the end. It's the end of One Piece. I'm just kidding. This chapter is the ending, of course, of Wano. But first, we're going to talk about the cover art, which is Caesar getting ready to use his poison gas attack. He seems to have stuck around for some reason in the middle of Whole Cake Island. So I don't know exactly what Caesar's plan is for this. Does he plan on teaming up with Judge? They get Queen. Maybe they fly off to Vagapunk and they get the band back together. Or does Caesar have, like, some ulterior motive? Or maybe he's just hedging his bets. Poison Pink, Reiju is immune to his poison attacks, so if she can get the upper hand, defeat Katakuri, maybe they'll thank him by helping him get off the island. But enough about the cover art. Let's move on to the chapter itself, which has us at a theater, where a narrator is going to tell the tale of the brave Momonosuke who traveled through time with his loyal retainers and Kanjuro to save the entirety of Wano from the dastardly dragon that is Kaido. Along this journey, he has made great friends such as the pirate Luffy and Yamato, who, as we learn, is staying in Wano. So yeah, after countless theories in every single direction, will Yamato stay? Will Yamato go? Is Yamato going to be a straw hat? Is Yamato going to join, the Kozuki retainers? It ends with staying in Wano. Her reasoning, though, is because in order to live like Kozuki Oden, she must first walk in his footsteps, and his footsteps were in Wano. See, Yamato spent her entire life in a cage, more or less, unable to leave the island of Onigashima. So, logically speaking, she's never actually seen Wano. How can you properly get into the mindset of Kozuki Oden, the man who loved Wano enough to sail out to sea and back to it and, try to save it with dancing naked in the streets for 5 years straight, if you don't truly walk through Wano? But yeah, that's where Yamato decides to stay. She will stay in Wano, and when she's ready to set out to sea, then she'll set out to sea like Oden did. But for now, she wants to be one with Wano before leaving Wano. Of course, Yamato explains all this to Kinemon and Momonosuke as Momonosuke is dashing his way down to the docks. Though, for some reason, he is not choosing to fly, maybe because he doesn't want Luffy to see him coming. He never actually explains why, but Momo and Kinemon are very angry because, well, rightfully so, they have been with the Straw Hat crew longer than anyone. And I mean that literally, like actually. We met Momonosuke in like the 600s when it came to chapters, which means Momonosuke has actually traveled with the Straw Hat crew for roughly a third of the entirety of the One Piece story. So, yeah, I can see why he would be a little miffed. I mean, we've spent so much time with Momo and Kinemon, so to have them not even say goodbye and just dart off into the night is pretty insulting. Of course, as Momonosuke does reach them, Luffy's like, "Oh, hey, Momo," completely oblivious to the insult that he's just thrown in this child's face. Momo tackles him to the ground. Yamato tackles him as well, though more to just say hi, Luffy. But Momo just starts crying, saying, "Please don't leave. I want you to teach me more things. I want to spend time with you. It's thanks to you that I got my home back and I avenged my father. So please don't go." And Luffy tells him, "Hey, it's okay. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling lonely, if you need a little bit of courage, take this." And he has Usopp hand it to him, and he hands it to Momonosuke, and it's the Straw Hat flag. Yeah, so he tells Momonosuke to display that somewhere in Wano so that he can look at it and know that, Luffy's out there. And if other people see that flag, they know if you mess with Wano, you mess with Luffy. Luffy has declared Wano as his territory with this. Just like Whitebeard had claimed, Fishman Island, and then Big Mom later. Shanks with that island, Bartolomeo attacked. So Yeah, Luffy is claiming his second island of territory now. He now has Fishman Island with the Straw Hat flag, and he now has Wano with the Straw Hat flag. Luffy also tells Momonosuke, Kinemon, and Yamato that if the three of them ever want to be pirates, then just let him know and he will come sailing back and pick them up. So, not exactly becoming official members of the Straw Hat crew, but they definitely have the Vivi level of crewmanship at this point, where if Vivi decided, hey, I want to be a pirate, all she has to do is call Luffy, he'll swing by with the boat, pick her up, and go. So, I mean, Momonosuke and Kinemon have traveled with Luffy long enough, longer than Vivi, so if we're even going to go by just basic been on the boat logic, they actually deserve to be a part of this crew. Technically, so does Carrot, though Carrot is now the Duke of the Zou, so the Minx, she's their leader. She can't really shirk that responsibility. Though I have heard this fascinating little theory that as soon as they leave Wano, Carrot's just going to pop up and be like, hey, I'm here too now. Which fits in, considering that's how she joined them for the Whole Cake Island arc. The crew finishes gathering up their things together, saying goodbye to Momonosuke, and Nami starts setting a course for the port with the nice little elevator system so that they can just leave Wano safely. Lost takes his submarine, he's starting to go with them, and that's when Kid calls out to them and he says, hey, Luffy, Law, it makes sense you guys are going to that nice safe little port, so secure and so calm and nice. I'm gonna go down the waterfall because I have balls and I'm a man and I'm much more brave than the two of you. And Luffy and Law just get these looks on their faces, and the entire crew knows exactly where this is going, and they're all screaming, they're protesting. Luffy tells Jinbei to give him the helm, which I'm sure Jinbei does, because, hey, if we're going to jump over a waterfall, what does that really do to a fish man? Jinbei's just sort of like keeping an eye on the other devil fruit eaters, and he's just going to, if one of them falls off, we got Jinbei, which I never even thought about till just now, but with Jinbei, we have secured protection from one of the Straw Hat crew's biggest problems, which is devil fruit users falling overboard. But with that, the three captains take their crews screaming over the waterfall as they fall into the new world once more. As the three crews are falling, we get a little bit of narration and we cut back to that theater performance where the narrator has been giving the story of the brave pirates who came along and saved Wano with the help of Momonosuke from the clutches of Kaido. So as the narrator is telling this story about Kurozumi Orochi, who has taken over Wano, and how he, with many of his heads chopped off, he was down to his single head as he came, a flaming entity, charging towards the innocent Princess Hiyori, only to be cut down his final head by Denjiro, who had been pretending to be Kiyoshiro this whole time. As he burns, he promises Hiyori that the rage and the hatred of the Kurozumi family will follow them to the ends of the earth, to which she responds, Kurozumi means charcoal. Kurozumi was meant to burn. See what they did there? Because, Odin said, I wouldn't be Odin if I didn't boil, so that it's poetic. It all comes nice together. It all comes together nicely. And with that, as they speak of the brave pirates and the heroic acts of the princess and prince who came back to Wano to save it, the curtain closes and we finally see the end. Not end of act something, not, start of act 2. We see the end. So who knows where we're going to go next? I mean, I already have my prediction for the next cover story. I definitely think it's going to be Yamato's walk across Wano, because that's going to be, Wano's, history, maybe a little bit extra stuff. Maybe whatever happened to that sword that Luffy was dragging around, the Nidai Kitetsu, because we never actually got that resolved. I'm going to guess it's with the Kazuki family, back to where it belongs, but at this point, who knows? Maybe that's going to be a part of Yamato's journey, is finding that sword wherever it landed, maybe taking out what's left of Kaido's men, because even though Green Bull, stabbed into King and Queen, we don't know if they're dead. Furthermore, we still don't know where Kaido and Big Mom are. I know it's a safe bet to assume that maybe Big Mom died in the magma, but like I've said before, Kaido tried to end himself as a hobby. So I got to assume he chose to try lava at some point and it probably didn't work. Oh, Kaido's got to be down there. Maybe lava counts as a liquid when it comes to like submerging a devil fruit user, but even then, if King is still alive, King's a Lunarian. They've got to be immune to lava, otherwise they wouldn't be a terrifying race that they are. He could, well, I guess he's a devil fruit user. Well, I guess that all depends on whether or not magma counts as water. Then again, there is a magma devil fruit. Okay, this theory just keeps going in a circle. My theory is that Kaido and Big Mom are still alive, but I don't know where they are. But that might be the big problem Yamato faces in Yamato's walk across Wano. Furthermore, the question of what's the next island. That's the big thing I want to know. We know Kid's going to the middle island. We know Law is taking the most direct route to the end of the Grand Line, but we don't actually know what island the Straw Hat crew is heading towards. That being said, I would like it if it was Elbaf, but I feel like that would be too convenient to have such a prominent island on the Grand Line like Wano be right next door to such a prominent island on the Grand Line like Elbaf. So I'm thinking we're going to get some kind of filler island, maybe some exposition. The next chapter is definitely going to be like what's going on in the rest of the world. We're going to get things like what happened to Sabo, maybe some things about Vivi. Perhaps we're going to see maybe something about Dragon or something about, what the Navy is currently up to, because now they have to deal with the Cross Guild and all the crazy shenanigans going on with that. But I'm just going to call it now. The next chapter is definitely going to end with everybody having a toast and welcoming Jinbei to the crew, because we still haven't gotten that proper toast. It was promised to us all the way before the raid when Luffy said, hey, we're going to wait until we have the biggest feast ever. But in my opinion, we still need a proper welcome for Jinbei to join the crew. But, of course, that's not until next chapter. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.